if UFOs were real, why planet Earth? So, of course, there isn't concrete evidences, on this because you need empirical data and it must be clear reasoning behind it and so forth. It's like a very shady area, so I can't, support um, something that is not yet supported. We have to respect the scientific communities and the political. Yes, people make claims and so forth, but people make all types of claims these days, right? We don't know. Have I seen a UFO? No, I don't know. So does it mean that they don't exist and so forth? I don't know. Maybe they exist. Maybe they don't exist. Maybe there is life, elsewhere. Maybe not. Right? I mean, I'm coming from a spirituality perspective, but also foundational on science, right? Um, we're not saying everything is impossible. We say anything is possible, right? But we need to, you know, be careful how we introduce subject matters, and discuss certain subject matters. Can't make wild claims until we know how, we can explain things. So in this video, I'm just going to discuss from a spirituality perspective if there were UFOs and if it is true. I'm not saying it's not true, that it didn't happen and there is no UFOs as well, right? But if it was true, right? Why would they visit planet Earth of all the places? I thought about this recently listening to a podcast, the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm not getting paid to say all these things. He's not sponsoring me or anything. I think he won't even notice me. Um, but he was having this podcast with Elon Musk, a SpaceX guy, right? And it was amazing to listen to that conversation. Priceless, right? And it got me to think about outer space travel, because he's creating, he's busy with his SpaceX program and so forth, right? And I got to thinking about this, right? Why would they this thing? And I discussed, and I realized why. I realized one possible reason why, from a spirituality perspective, why this could be, right? And it was a glaringly obvious thing. I will be discussing that in this video. For those of you who like the contents of my video, please also don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. This will greatly help me to be able to reach out to more people. And just an optional extra while you're at it, to just drop a comment and share it with just one other person or social media channel. I would very highly appreciate that. And thank you anyway for just your time you're spending with me, right? I know how precious, no matter how little time, that you spend. Not everyone can spend the full length, in these type of topics. I understand that, no problem. Welcome. Um, and for those of you who don't know me, I am Osman. I'm a bioenergy healer, um, on a master level with telepathic healing capabilities, specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments. Typically, I've got to have an idea of my healing. 10-minute anxiety relief costs just $5, less than the price of a Starbucks coffee, by the way. Delivered to you telepathically, instantly, anywhere in the globe, wherever you are, and you only pay after you are happy and the treatment is successful, right? Because I'm so confident of my treatments, I don't need to, take the money. I don't charge for my time. I charge for the success and your satisfaction, right? So I don't mind. I can even spend. I mean, some of my protocols are 100 days. I do the whole 100 days. You're not happy after the 100 days, and I've spent like sometimes 600 hours, right, in that 100 days. No problem. I don't want your money if you're not happy, right? At any point you're not happy, and I can stop. And nothing is owing, right? That's fine. And we come to an agreement. Like that. So this is one, and I'm also you can visit my website, yogawellness786.com, for more contact information and testimonials and more about myself. And then I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher. Um, uh, having been practicing this art form for almost 50 years and teaching for 44 years. In that period, I've studied under various masters from different schools of thought, from different cultures and across the globe, from the Far Eastern, the Eastern, the Middle Eastern, and Western, but the foundation not exceeding the boundaries set by science, right? I always temper things with science. And to that end, I now created my own unique protocols, adapted for the 21st century, making things basically simpler, faster, easier, quicker, more time efficient, and results based. To that end, I now have students also in over 100 countries, and my favorite protocol is a 5-minute yoga and meditation program, which you can download for free by visiting my website, yogawellness786.com, in exchange for subscribing to my blog, and where you can get more information about myself, my contact information, testimonials, my services, and so forth. Also, remember all my therapies are natural based and not a replacement for um, medical treatment. So coming back to why, if there were UFOs, and I mean, there's so much of stories and so much of accounts. Maybe it happened, right? Maybe it didn't happen. But if they come, why would they come? And notice that there's a lot of appearances where they're appearing, in the ocean, open waters, right? So what is unique about Earth? Are they coming to visit us? I haven't met anyone, and no community of UFOs came in, introduced themselves, and went around shaking hands with people, and or just rubbing shoulders, or whatever way of greeting, rubbing the forehead to forehead, whatever. I didn't see, or I didn't hear of all these things happening, right? So they're not coming to socialize, right? That is basically right. Generally speaking, maybe they met some people, and maybe ET, the movie ET was created, you know where they were interacting with humans and so forth, and maybe some people claimed, we don't know, right? But generally speaking, no, that's not why they're coming, right? They're coming to some open field, or they're going more a lot to like an open ocean or some certain remote places that they're going to. What would they want to come, right? They were able to travel in, we don't know what distances, at what speeds, right? And how they can travel those speeds, we don't even know. And what would they want to come? Why else? What's the most obvious reason? Well, can you think of what's the most obvious reason? I said, no, this is, why didn't I think of this before? They're coming to fuel up, right? But we don't see them extracting anything. They're going over the ocean. They're not filling up with water. They're not fueling their spaceship with water, right? So, what is it that the earth has that's so special? What's there in the water, in the open fields, and certain things? Right? Let's look at the open fields. So, open fields are like natural, like plants or whatever, crops that are growing. So, crops have, I'm talking from a spirituality perspective, my experience, right? Is they have the dormant or the subtle life force energy, which cannot be seen with the naked eye, but obeys the rules of quantum physics. Right. So now science is advanced. There's even instruments that can calculate the life force energy. I think it was manufactured in China in the 1980s. It's not yet utilized in the West, or they don't talk about it, that it can be calculated, using that instrument. But of course, there's other instruments and frequencies, so many methods that you can, it's the ebbing away of the life force energy and the improvement of the life force energy. The sunlight has got it, as well. But there's something in plant kingdom, and the ocean is so vast. So I'm an energy healer. So I understand that I can absorb power by just going into a park. I sometimes, when I was yeah, now I'm completely blind, right? When I originally lost my eyesight, I recovered it again. It wasn't 100% lost. It was like going, like I could barely walk, could barely see. I walked to the park myself, and I started to feel improvement, because I said, let me spend my day because I'm always doing online marketing on my mobile, several hours, like like about 18 hours a day, right? But I spend like about 8 hours in the park of that, sitting on the natural grass, taking off my shoes, making my feet to touch the grass and the earth, right? And sitting on the ground, the soft grass and the earth, and leaning against. I used to look for the biggest tree, biggest oldest tree, to lean against that to get the energy from the tree as well. My back leaning on it, and just basically said, I'm not sitting and meditating. So I used to meditate, okay, like for a few minutes as well, but basically doing it and mindfully. And there was a park that I used to love going to when I was in Turkey, which was along the Bosporus Channel. So when I was going blind and I was like, it was going way bad, I was like reaching very poor visibility, just able to see just in front of me to make it to the park. And I knew the Bosporus Channel is flowing water, has got extra energy. Compared to any other park, this was the park that I felt most energized. And when I lost my eyesight to that level, I recovered my eyesight completely within 3 days. I started to feel better and the eyes started to improve. And I fully recovered my eyesight. And then just a friend of mine says, no, it wasn't 100%, but like I was having difficulty reading I started, sorry, thereafter to have difficulty reading, script on a computer screen. I could see everything else, and then it started to worsen. Friends said, no, go to a doctor. I said, no, I tried to do it myself, and I was so busy, I didn't have time to go back to that same park, right? And then, I mean, I said, we have to be responsible, right? Follow medical treatment. And I went for the medical treatment only. I never go at this, sadly, right? Maybe I could have recovered my eyesight and not lost it. But anyway, whatever happens has happened. But and then lost it. But there's a great power of energy in flowing natural water in streams, in the river. That was the Bosporus Channel, right? And a lot of people says in Turkey that they feel lucky, if they have the business along there, their business will prosper and so forth. I said, hey, I want my online marketing to prosper, was my original idea. And then for my eyesight to develop, to get better, and it did get better, right? So coming to the spaceships, they're coming over water. Is there a way to absorb or transfer the subtle life force? And yes, of course, this is a known science in the energy healing field. You can watch the videos on Sadhguru. He's trending, right? He's the thing. If you go to his seminars, like the 21-day retreat or whatever it is, you have to get spiritually initiated as well, right? And he's often not there, he's traveling. So he created a cylindrical structure, and using the ancient sciences, he consecrated it with a very high power energy, and you can get energized from that structure. It's a cylindrical structure, not a lingam or anything. Cylindrical, it's a non-religious thing, right? He created it himself, and he consecrated energy there. And he also mentions that people who are, who have a lot of power, what's the source of the power? Because sometimes certain things are so, you need so much of power, you can't just give from your own energy, you need to connect to the power source. So you can telepathically, once you, because I'm doing things telepathically also, I can telepathically connect and absorb these people who, if there was a UFO, had the capacity to create a structure and come to our planet, we don't know from where. Do you think they don't know how to do all these things? Must be child's play for them. And this is a very powerful energy. So they all obviously got powerful energy, but they don't, if there's someone very powerful, like a spiritual master or like an energy healer in that spaceship, right? If he uses his own energy to power up the ship, he'll be dead, right? Because he's just one individual, and he can, although he can connect to the energy of the universe, but he can only hold so much in his body. His body will explode otherwise. He can't handle, what a spaceship needs to be able to travel at the speeds that they travel. So there is a way how to capture it and consecrate it in Earth. You think they don't? They know, also know, and we know how to try, connect and transfer. So I've got my place that I normally connect to, my power. So it's a secret, right? Everyone got the secret. So I got my secret. Certain things I can't say. because I don't want to lose the power, right? I'm helping so many people, and so that's only nothing to think. There's so many power sources you can find it. You can find, from the ocean, from the earth, from the plants, the trees, the sunlight, right? You can absorb energies from. So they probably coming. The body of water is so heavy. They're hovering over it. They absorbing. There's someone there who knows how to transfer it. When you're closer, you can absorb a very like higher concentration value of it quicker because you're right there at the source. If you're far away, it's only at the rate at which your body can transmit only, right? So they create the connection and let it go, let it go direct, direct surcharge into their power source or the power storage center in there, right? So of course they've went even further than the earth people. They've created mechanisms that knows how to harvest that stored energy and utilize it mechanically to to do space travel. This is something science fiction stuff, right? Talking, right? So this thing loves science fiction. Elon Musk loves science fiction. Hopefully, he loves what I'm saying. I don't think he will ever. I mean, it's not very easy for someone like him to notice someone like me saying these things. But this is my honest opinion. Why they're coming here for energy, the subtle life, because that energy is exponentially much higher than even nuclear energy, right? It can't compare how massive because it's on a different dimension, right? Um, I'm speaking dimension from scientific perspective that science has, quantum physics has found or discovered and said there are 11 dimensions that they've discovered. And they, of course, they don't know too much, and they haven't been speaking to the professors next door to them. The physics professor didn't speak to the psychology professors and the humans, the political sciences department and the law, legal department and the medical. But they don't know about these things. They think this is all hocus pocus, but dimensions are real, right? um, from the physics, quantum physics perspective, right? So I'm not from my side. I have to make a claim from this yoga sciences. Yoga sciences is 112 dimensions, right? That we've identified in this field. So coming back to why would UFOs want to come to this planet? Why am I telling you this? What's the reason that you have the most precious thing right in front of you? The air you're breathing, got it. The trees, save the trees, right? Focus on preserving the planet. Also, don't let this be a struggle for just a fraction of a percentage of people, right? And the ocean has got immense energy. So, visiting this, don't forget to go to the beach regularly if there's this, coastal region near you, or go to the river. So a lot of people, they love fishing and so forth. It's not just the sport, you get to connect with nature, right? You go hunting and all that, but you're connecting with the trees in nature. You really, it's about connecting. You're going on hiking trails, right? Okay, you don't believe in hunting, going on hiking trails, connecting with nature. There's so much of energy in mountains as well, right? We are so rich with energy here that even people from outer space, UFOs, if there is such a thing, would want to visit the Earth, it would be for that natural wealth, right? So hope that information helps you. Take care of yourself always.